What is up, guys? It's Mitchell or Deity, and welcome to part 4 of the guide. So, before we ended last episode of the guide, I wanted you guys to go and farm while finishing up your Tamarind missions. Okay, with finishing those up, the more farming you did, no matter what kind of content it was, you are going to be in a good spot. So as you saw there, I'm on day whatever login, but I'm not claiming the items according to the login, so I'm still at the same spot as you guys are with the guide. But with the logins, you are with the farming, your whole goal was to finish up Tamarind. You need to make sure you have this part done before starting this episode of the guide. So you needed to send aid to 20 of your guild members. Okay, again, the Discord is down below. You can try to get into a guild within there. You'll have much more success in doing that than just joining a random dead guild and having nobody claim any of the, or donate or do anything like that with aid. So go ahead and receive, and we're going to unlock our Tamarind. Hopefully along the way though, if those of you guys that were potentially stuck, you farmed some of the things I showed you. One of the things was Eulogy for a Saint. Farming that, I will be, as you see, my count rank is higher rank, as well as I'm going to have a bunch more charms going in this episode and a lot more stigma. I have around 200,000 stigma. One of the other characters within this that you want to grab is Commander Lorena. She's very, very good. She is like the 3-star super damage carry for almost all content in the game if you want to use her, and then you can switch off for luxury units otherwise. But that is a character that's especially changed. So before we get going on anything, one of the things that you can go in and do is go to your hero section. I want you to go to your adventure Raz, because we are going to be working on some golem missions later in this video, as well as trying to set up our Lorena. With those two characters, the sooner we start to specially change, all of our missions that we finish and energy we spend will be going into those characters. So give me a second, my thing is not loading. I will be back. Okay, so come into your hero inventory, and you are going to go to your Fire Knights, and you are going to level up Raz. Okay, so with Raz, he's a free character you get at the very beginning of the game. We put some skill ups into him into the video already. You don't care about his skill ups overall. We were just doing it because it was cheap. You are going to go to your Tamarind first. Okay, so Tamarind, you're going to go ahead, level her up, auto select, put her up to level 50, and then we are going to use a potion on her first, and then I believe we should have 2 potions in our inventory. So if you have enough epic spirit blooms, you can promote her with those. Otherwise, use a potion. Okay, so get her to level 60, and then we're going to use the other potion as well for her ascensions. So as you see here, I did not quite have enough, so now I need to go make some more penguins. I actually just recently learned you can make penguins from this menu, which is super big. So you can go in here, do that, and then now you have your level 60 Tamarind. You want to back out, and you want to awaken her with this potion. Okay, so go ahead, slap that on, and then now you have a juiced up ready Tamarind. The thing for her skill ups, you're going to go to her skill enhance, and the only skill you care about leveling up is her skill 3 on a 1-turn cooldown. So in order to do this, you are going to have to trade in some boxes of your catalyst boxes. You should have some. Otherwise, you can go with your AP and exchange them. But go ahead and boost this up. You get the 1-turn cooldown. And then from here, if you want to level this up some, you can. But do not level the skill 2 up all the way. I will go ahead and just put like 2... Until it starts costing catalysts, I'll put 3 Mologors into her. But you do not want to level this up all the way, because as you friendship 10 her, which you will, over time, you will end up getting 3 free Mologors for your skill up. So do not go all the way up on this. You will end up, as you see here, it takes 8, 11, 12. You will only actually need 9 if you do want to max this out. I don't even have this maxed out on my main account. It does help, but it is definitely not necessary. But once your Tamarind is boosted up, the best artifact for her, if you have it, is not her one. It is going to be, so Idol's Cheer is her artifact. Okay, you don't get this generally. I just got it off a summon. The best one is Wondrous Potion Vial. If you do not have this, Magahar's Tome is fine. Any 4-star or 5-star Soul Weaver already will just work on her until you get a Potion Vial. But if you do have Wondrous Potion Vial, fantastic. You could even use this if you want. It's not great, but it can work. So Wondrous Potion Vial is what we'll go ahead with. But again, any 4-star Soul Weaver artifact, you'll be fine to use. Now, for this, I'm going to go ahead and level it up just to +9. Just put 2 charms into it, and then she is solid. So now the other 2 characters, though, we're going to go back out to our Raz, and we can promote our Raz up to 6 stars. So we're going to manage, we're going to go into here, we're going to go into promotion, and I'm going to use a potion. So the potions, this is where you get the most value out of them, is boosting up 3-star characters, but it doesn't matter that much. It's very easy to get your spirit blooms, so don't stress about trying to use these on a 3-star. But go ahead, slap that into them. And then the thing with the other potion, though, for the awakening potions, I do not advise using your awakening potions on 3 stars, though. Just go ahead and use your general whatever runes to boost him up in Catalyst, because he is a 3-star, meaning he takes less of the resources to get him max awakened. So using one of those potions on a 3-star is pretty bad value overall. It ends up being a pretty substantial difference in terms of stamina in comparison to the other potion. So we'll go ahead and even just promoting him to 3-star is fine, because you're probably not going to have him leveled up. But if you want to go in, keep leveling up more, you can. But for right now, I just wanted to show that we are starting to work on Raz. And lastly, we have our Lorena. We need to get her up to level 30. I'm not going to promote her or anything yet. She's a character we'll come back on and touch later, but we need her level 30 because we're going to go into our recruit section and we're going to go to specialty change. These are the top 2 characters for specialty change. The first one you want to finish is Raz, because it's going to give you some resources back, or at least it used to, but in terms of your runes to level them up. We'll go into specialty changes more once we finish it, but I'm going to go ahead and click start specialty quest. They need to be level 30 in order to start these quests. But there we go. Our Raz quest will be started. It's going to give you a little story you could watch. I'll skip it so I don't spoil it. And then there we go. Now there will be a list of missions that we have to accomplish in order to finish Raz. We need to gift 6 rare oath catalysts. So I'm going to go ahead. I have 8. I'll just gift these now. I'll get more later if I need them. And then we need to acquire 200 greater runes and eliminate 500 unknowns. For doing this, I just click go next to the stage for the whatever it wants me to farm. There might be a better stage there. I'm not sure yet, but it did not take me long to farm this. Lastly, we need 200 greater runes. That does take a while. Ideally, if you can try to farm these on a day that there's a 2x event, that's better, because during the 2x rune event, you're getting double runes. It takes half the amount of stamina, which is nice. But if not, we're not going to be farming a lot of specially changed characters, and you need these runes anyway. So going and running your Spirit Altar Fire is not bad. But one other thing you can do is spend Sky Stones to finish this. The problem is we need these runes. Okay, so using the Sky Stones to finish this we're going to be getting AP for, and this we're going to be getting the runes, which we need to put into his skill tree. So you get a tree of skills that you level up with runes, and we need those runes. So it is a huge waste to use this to complete the missions. Okay, I don't advise doing that for almost any character. Now, that is one thing you can work on. Again, I'll go over things throughout the video that if you want to take a little break in terms of progression and go work on these things, you can. But we are going to be using Raz for a lot of different content. Next up, we want to just start Lorena specialty change. And this is something we're not going to focus on too much, but we will finish over time. One of the things that it has was the catalyst points. So if you have 2 different characters you're working on specialty changes at the same time, they will all count toward each other. But this way, anything we do now over the next course of this video, it will count toward Lorena, and the 120 exchange points is going to be really easy to get. Okay, you'll get them while you're getting Raz's mission done. Okay, so those 2 are started there, and we have our Tamarind all the way boosted up. So now we're going to go into our Orbis guide, and since we got Tamarind, we can claim this, and we have to watch the first episode. This is the gear set we're going to put on Tamarind, by the way. And then we need to watch the first episode of Moonlight Theater Fallen Act 1. So with Moonlight Theater, we can go in. This is going to be what we need to do to unlock our second Moonlight 5 character. The first thing is down here, though. This is a kind of weird part, is depending on what you started with. If you started with Arbiter Vildred and bought Spectre Tenebria from the event pass, if that's still available when you started the game, you can go ahead and take them. You're good to go. But you do have the ability to reset your Moonlight Blessing. The longer you sit on this, the more chances you have to potentially pull this character and you can go get a second character. Or if Spectre Tenebria, you wanted to play through the parts of the game that I told you guys Spectre Tenebria excels at versus Arbiter Vildred, even though Arbiter Vildred is the better, like, long-term character, you can hold on here, continue to farm through your Abyss and beat chapter 3 and 4 story, and then go get your Moonlight Blessing 2 character. So once you clear this and then go into Fallen Lands, you have to watch every episode of Fallen Lands in the Moonlight Theater, which is a total of 29 stages. So as you see here, there's 14 and then 15. So 29 different watches. Then it will open up the Moonlight Blessing 2. So if you want to hold on and wait, you just cannot start working on the second character yet. So know that. I'm going to go ahead and just take the Spectre Tenebria and let you guys, but if you decided you want Arby and haven't finished that up yet, you can click reset. It gives you all the resources back you put on Spectre Tenebria, and you pick Arby, but you can only do this change one time. But that is going to be up to you how you want to do that. I think you'll be just fine taking Spectre Tenebria, that you'll have plenty of other characters to use. But if you do like Arbiter Vildred, just know that would be the second best choice to go in there. And in terms of any other characters, Ruel's okay. The other 3 are not great. So in order to watch these missions now. I think I might have touched on it a little bit, but you're going to need gold, okay? So as you see, I have 17 million gold. That's because I farmed Eulogy for a Saint, okay? I might have said unrecorded history earlier, but you don't farm unrecorded history. You farm Eulogy for a Saint. If I ever make that mistake in this video or in any videos in the future, I have been saying farm unrecorded history for the last 4 years or so. So bear with me, but anytime I say that, I mean Eulogy for a Saint or your general AP or Catalyst Point farming, okay? But while you're farming, you're going to be getting Stigma, and you're going to need that Stigma to make penguins to sell for gold, which I will show in a second. But with this, you're going to have your currency, okay? You get to watch 1 episode per week for free of each type. If you were to not buy these tickets and speed up your progression and the overall story, it is going to take you half a year in order to get this character. Okay, you want to speed this up. If you click on this icon up here, it costs 500,000 gold per ticket. Super worth it. I know that looks like a big number, but over just the last little tiny bit I farmed, I will show you the overall resources I got. So I have the 17 million here, and one of the best things with this is you get 50 mystic medals, which is 1 summon for every single story you watch. So you're going to get them from this, from this, from this. It's like 80 summons or something. It's almost half a pity, I believe, of just stories that you have to watch or can watch in here. And it does cost gold, but the gold cost for that is super, super worth it. Okay, so now, if you did do some extra farming and did the things I said at the end of last guide, you're going to be sitting on a good pile of Stigma. Stigma, you come in here to your growth. As you see, I have 230,000. With the 230,000, you can take that and make penguins. So I'm going to just go ahead. I'm going to make multiple batches of penguins. I wish there was a faster way. We used to have to do these like 1 or 10 penguins at a time. Now we can do 50, but I have to like move where I'm clicking, which I don't like that. Before, you just click the same spot on the screen. I don't know why a penguin slider is so difficult for Epic 7, but it is what it is. But go ahead, make a bunch of penguins, depending on how much Stigma you have. So if you look up here, I have 179,000. We'll go down to 150 just so you can see the overall gold that I gained from this. And then we'll do 160. So now we can go into our inventory, and we go down to this box right here, go to our growth ingredients, and then we can click arrange. From the arrange section, we click our penguins, max them out. And as you see up at the top, we are selling all of these for 7.14 million. Okay, so that is enough. That is that's a lot of gold, and it did not take me very long to farm at all. Okay, so that is the general like gold farming within the game. You go and farm. Again, I'll go to the stage just so that there's no questions in terms of, it was at the end of last video, but you come into here, you can go to your book of memories, and then I told you guys to unlock Eulogy for a Saint. You'll click adventure, and you'll just farm. Now you can farm your regular stages, and it's almost just as good. The difference is minimal. Most old players didn't even know that this was a farming option for most of the time in our account. So if for some reason you don't have Eulogy for a Saint or close the chapter or whatever, that's fine. I generally farm 3-7 or 3-9, but I never go further in this or like whatever story, just so I don't accidentally end up closing the story. I never finish it. I just stay where I am right here. And eventually I feel like they'll fix this to where even if you close it, you could reopen it or something, but otherwise try not to close this out. And now again, if you can come in here just to your general story episode, and this is the stage I would farm if I was a new player. I would go click the icon, go back to chapter 1, and I would just farm this mission here in 1-6, the rampage stage. Just set this, let it farm, do 15 runs at a time, and just keep doing it. Leave your game open over on the side if you're on PC, or if you're on your phone, just let it run, set your phone off to the side, have it plugged in so it's charging, and then just keep resetting it won't take you very long at all with the farming team I showed. Well, it's one character, but farming method I showed at the end of last video. Okay, so all of the basic stuff is done to get into this next batch. So we're going to go in. Last thing before I go watch that first episode of the Moonlight Theater is going to be your Tamarind. Okay, with Tamarind, you can come in and just go ahead and put that brand new gear set. I need to clean up the inventory a little bit because those are all just junk gear that drops that you have to sell. But this set, it's very good on her. It pretty much touches on every stat you want, which is great. And now we can go ahead and click change, and then we want to upgrade this gear. So the sword, I'm going to go to +9. And as you see, I have 550 charms, and those of you guys that are behind on charms, you need to go farm those places I just said. As you farm that, you will end up getting a lot of resource. I think the health didn't roll too high, But overall, it doesn't really matter where this gear rolls. You just hope it doesn't roll too low. Even if it did, though, it's not a big deal. So from right here, you can click the option to use powder only to save your charms. It doesn't matter. They all end up going pretty much the same spot. The only, ooh, that's really high rolled. I'll take that all day. Okay, and then next we go into here. Go ahead and put this up to plus 12. I will end up increasing this even more. All right, that rolled not the worst. And then this, go ahead, put it up to plus 12. But I will be plus 15ing all the pieces of gear on Tamarind in the near future. But I just want to get a starting point just to see what it will be like in case you do not quite have the charms, and see how big it, or like how important it is for you to go farm that before we go any further. Okay, so that overall didn't roll great. And then here, the last piece, go to plus 12, which I don't have enough. So the right side charms is still one of the biggest bottlenecks within the game. But either way, that's a usable Tamarind. You're probably going to be struggling on right side charms. Again, I've shown ways to get charms. You go to your shop and spend conquest points. And then you can, well, for right side charms, that's really the only way. For your accessory charms, you have to go farm your arena and then buy them from in there. And it doesn't matter which rarity you buy, they're the same. But before we go into the next part, I want you guys to go make sure you've watched the first episode of the Moonlight Theater to clear the next mission. But I'm going to rip my 10 summons. Meant to do this at the start of the video. An ML 4-star? Bloodblade Corinne. Oh, that would have been so nice. Bloodblade Corinne is the strongest 4-star in the game. That would have been amazing. But we did not get her. There was a chance, though. She is an assassin. Or a thief, whatever the class is called in this game. But I do have one Moonlight summon too, so let's rip this, and then I will be back once I have watched that first episode. I may end up watching more Moonlight Theater, but you guys just need to watch that first part for now. Okay, please spark. No spark, so there we go. There's our 2 summons, but I will be back in just a second, and we will continue on with the guide. Okay, so the screen is going to look a little weird for a second, but once you have gotten to watch the first episode of Moonlight Lands, you can go through and watch all of it if you would like. Okay, if maybe you've unlocked your Arbiter Villager Spectre Zebra, you want to know what the character I would pick would be, we're going to go into that real quick. So we're going to back out. Now, as you see here again, you can reset this, but the last thing you need to do if you haven't done it yet is reach gold 5 in arena. Once you reach gold 5 in arena, then you will be able to unlock the second Moonlight Blessing. So with the second Moonlight Blessing, I just switched accounts. So you guys that don't know, I'm playing 2 accounts at the same time right now. But you can switch one character here. With switching that one character, you can say switch your Spectre Zebra to Arbiter Villager. That's fine if that's what you end up deciding to do. Or you can switch RB to Spectre Zebra. Either way, you get one switch, and once you finish it, you are stuck. Now, with the Moonlight Blessing 2, same exact thing. There's going to be a list of missions you need to do to unlock the character fully. The number 1 pick for this is Death Dealer Ray if you're going to get into PvP at all, whether it's Arena, Guild War, RTA. He is by far the strongest character individually to pick from this. That is my number 1 choice. My number 2 choice is going to be Sylvan Sage Vivian. She just got a buff recently. She's able to attack twice on her skill 1, which is amazing, and she has overall great survivability, and she cannot be debuffed as long as she has 3 or more stacks of focus, which she starts the match with 3 stacks. As long as there's not another character like Sea Phanopolitus against you, she is or Solitaria, she is a very, very strong character to have. So, and she is very good for PV because Hall of Trials, she is used like every other week, it feels like. So a lot of overall viability with this character, but Death Dealer Ray standalone is much, much stronger. So these are my 2 top picks. Death Dealer Ray first. Even if you're not too interested in PvP, having him, you'll be glad you have him. Otherwise, Sylvan Sage Vivian, maybe you want waifu character, that's fine. Play the game how you want. Next up, 2 characters are Conqueror Lilius and Meteor Cowric, both great. Meteor Cowric's a great cleanser, can deal great damage, and just a good general support. Conqueror Lilius is a very speed character, or fast character. She's going to allow you to have a speed contest, as well as she gets vigor buffs, so she can pair well with a new Crow. She has provoke. She just all around, and dual attack on her skill 1. These 2 characters could both be somewhat used in PvE, but you have Tamarind, you have Brieg, you kind of have everything else you need in PvE, so I wouldn't suggest these 2. But maybe you pulled some of these other ones. Maybe you have Death Dealer Ray or Sylvan. You're trying to think of another option. Either one of these would be the pick. This one is speed support. This one is cleansing support. Okay, so Meteor Cowric, one of the better cleansers in the game. That is my opinion on Moonlight Blessing 2. I will be taking Death Dealer Ray for sure on every account I ever play until there's something crazy that they change with them or counter pick comes out. But these are the missions you have to do. We're not going to be super pressed about finishing all of these. We will just passively finish them. The sooner you start this, kind of the better though, because you have to reach level 60 with 4 heroes. So, and that's after you start this batch of missions. The sooner you do it, the better, but don't feel like you have to right now. So that is my opinion on Moonlight Blessing 2. And now I'm going to get back into progressing through the Orbis guide. Okay, so now we've gone over Moonlight Blessing and what you need to do to achieve that. Go buy all the different watch tickets. But whenever you come in here, we already claimed the mission that gave you the 5 watch tickets, so that gets you a little bit closer to that. But we're going to go ahead and we have 4 characters awakened to 6 stars, so we can grab that. And we also finish the other mission of check into guild one time, which is weird they put this here because you have to do the Tamarind check-ins before that. I don't know why checking into the guild one time isn't an earlier mission within the game, but it is what it is. So now what it wants us to do is clear Spirit Altar on hard difficulty 10 times and clear floor 55 in Abyss, and we got to start pushing the next chapter of story, which is chapter 3. So the thing is, chapter 3 has one hard boss within it that's part of the reason we're building up Raz for, but we're not going to worry about that until we get further along to go finish up our Raz. We are also going to work on our Golem missions, so that is one thing that we will do at one point of this guide, but for right now, we're just going to follow along with the batch of missions here, Path of Air, so go get your 455 done and your Spirit Altar done. Now, with this, we just got Tamarind. That's a super exciting time. We do need to upgrade her gear a little bit more, but your team, now that you have her, is going to be Brieg, Tamarind, Spectre Saber, or RB, whichever one you have, as well as, well, okay, now one thing real quick is you are going to want more teams from this point, okay? The way you make more teams is click in the upper right-hand corner, then go to team. Here, you can buy more team slots. So if you go to the icon under my face cam, which I guess you can't see, it says add team. So you're going to go ahead and click this. And the first 2 cost gold, the rest cost sky stones, but you will end up buying full all of the teams. It's really cheap. It costs 15 sky stones, 18. You can go ahead and buy all of them right now. It's so cheap that it's definitely worth it. And this is going to now be our core story clearing team. I'm going to go ahead and put our Brieg in the front. And then our last 2 characters are Free Spiriteria and our Spectre Tenebria. Now, our Spectre Tenebria in terms of gear still is looking struggling quite a bit, okay? So there's a couple options we can do. The thing is, we are going to be getting a free, fully upgraded pieces of gear from the Orbis guide soon. And if we go here, click this, the next batch, we are going to start getting these. And then this, and then we're going to, on part 31, we get these 2 pieces. Ideally, this is what we're going to use on Spectre Tenebria. So in the meantime, while we're not farming hunts, we are going to take the necklace and ring and all of the gear off of our Sigret. Okay, so we're going to go to destruction set. We're going to take from Sigret and put it on her just to clear out the story. Okay, this, since we're getting the leveled up gear, we want to save as many charms as possible. That's just part of the game. We do not have the most charms in the world. You guys are all struggling with that. I'm aware. I've seen a lot of comments, but go ahead, switch this over. Yes, we only have 52 crit chance, but overall it's going to end up being way better than what we currently have. So that's our Spectre Tenebria. At least she has gear on now. We do want to awaken her some more as well. So we can come in here. Do not use your potion. We will end up using it on somebody else. You can go ahead and use your rune selection chest to do this. And we will be out of catalyst boxes for the 5th and 6th awakening, but this is something we will be working on finishing up. So from right here, as you see, we need 15. We do have enough. I'm going to go ahead and grab these. We will be getting a lot more catalyst boxes as we go, but for right now, at least 5-star awakening will be good. That also right here gives her more attack, and the last one is effectiveness. We're not too pressed about getting that, but the 5-star awakening is going to help you out tremendously. If you do have any way to switch around your gear to try to get higher crit chance, you can. We will end up switching her gear again in the near future, but for right now, we're trying to work with what we can. One other thing to do is change the artifact on her over to a Daydream Joker. That is going to help you go through chapter 3 story big time. Okay, it's super important. Now, the next thing is depending upon if you have charms. If you farm like I did in the unrecorded history, you should have a decent little stockpile of charms. You have 70 white charms just from farming. I'm going to go ahead, that actually rolled kind of crazy. I'm going to go ahead and upgrade her 2 pieces to plus 15, and I'm going to upgrade my Tamarind's gear from here. If you need more charms, then you can go back and farm. Okay, so the reason our crit chance is so low is because we took the sword that was on our Mui, and we took the chest that was on our Mui. So if we wanted to, we could go to our Mui and take these 2 pieces and switch them on to try to get more crit chance. Like this has 16 crit chance. That would be a really good switch that we could do. The problem is we're making our Wyvern team kind of obsolete, meaning we're gonna have to move a bunch more gear back again later, but this is a definite super good move that we could do. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that, and then the sword switch could be nice as well. We are gonna end up using this gear anyway, but for right now, just the chest is good enough for me. And I guess I'll upgrade this. I did just waste some charms there technically, but we will again end up upgrading all this gear. Now from here, we can go up and to our Tamarind, and we want to upgrade her helmet, chest, and boots to plus 15. If you don't have enough charms for this, again, there's the ways to get charms. Otherwise, just go farm your stages that I showed earlier. And even if you can't get them all to plus 15, you're still going to be fine to progress a little bit. It's just when you start dying, consider taking a step back to go charm farm in your Eulogy for a Saint or your general AP or Catalyst Point missions. Now, the plus 12 on the necklace and the ring is fine for now. We do care about upgrading that, but I know we do not have right side charms. But here we go. This is our new just story clearing / general content clearing team that we can utilize for the next couple of, at least for a little bit. One thing is our Tieria. She is our farming character. As you saw, we utilize her for farming our Book of Memories, Eulogy for a Saint, and our Catalyst AP stages. That's the main character that farms through because it's fast. So we don't want to take away from our Tieria. If you have Arbiter Villager, you can use him instead. But the thing is, we would like a different character in here over time that has more survivability within their kit. I do not have anything currently, except potentially maybe Immortal Wukong would probably perform better than her, just because he has more survivability. But otherwise, if you have a character that you want to try out, the replacement in this team would be your Free Spirit Tieria. Say if you have a Fene or somebody that you know you're going to end up building anyway, a Moonlight character that's cool or whatever you want to try out, you can switch your Tieria out. Just try to leave your Tieria on gear so you have a farmer. And all the characters currently leave their gear on. If you need to go farm Wyvern, you got to move the gear back. But you can reference that Wyvern guide video to see where all the gear was. And there's the resources there for you to kind of play around. I want you guys to experiment with the cool characters you have if you want. Otherwise, save all your resources. We're going to end up building all those characters anyway, and it'll prevent you from getting stuck because you built a character that was not very good. Okay, now that that is done, we're going to go in again, and I'm going to finish those 2 missions I told you, going through to Abyss 455 and then clearing Spirit Altar hard, difficulty 10 times. I'm going to farm fire runes for that for Raz. So I will be back once those 2 missions are done. Okay, so once you have completed your 2 things I told you to do, the Abyss 55 and the Spirit Altar on hard or higher, I just went ahead and went to the highest difficulty of the fire, because the reason we're doing fire is because we have to get those runes for Raz. Now, we need to go in and clear Chapter 3, Episode 1. So Chapter 3 is a slog. It is very slow, and one of the things with Chapter 3 that I'm going to give you an option on here. Do you guys remember early on I gave you who you should pick from your selector tickets? Okay, I've already claimed those selector tickets. I took Destina. Okay, and for the artifact, I believe I just took Abyssal Crown, but I would suggest taking either Albert's Ritual Sword or the things I went over within those videos in the past. But the character we took was Destina. If you want to try to 3-star all the stages within this, you can go and utilize this team here and build up your Destina. I'm not going to do that for the guide, and there are other characters you could take instead. If you can find any kind of green character to switch out for your Tieria, the issue is you need a red character, a green character, and a blue character to make sure you reach max stars on every stage going through Chapter 3 and Chapter 4. The team I use is going to be our general team, Brieg, Tamarind, and then I use Destina and Spectre Tenebria. It's very slow, but you have a reviver, you have multiple cleansers, you have a tank, you have everything you need for that, to where you really don't have to worry about failing any stages whatsoever except for one boss. Okay, so that is the team I would use. I would end up boosting up Destina. And in terms of gear, if this is something you want to do, I'm trying to give multiple options for you guys. But again, you don't have to do any of them, but I would go and take this free gear here, the free golem or whatever gear that we had that we're using. And then from here, you want any kind of HP % main stat gear that we are not currently using. So we could take the 2 pieces from our Angelica. So this would be the set I put on Destina. I would run that team in order to make sure I get all the stars, but otherwise I will just go back and do the stages again. It will be fine. But going in, let's go ahead, get through this next chapter. Again, claim any of the stuff that you got, but we're going to go through Chapter 1. We'll talk about that again real quick. So as you go in here, you just go ahead and click ready, and it'll have initial clear with no continues, and have 1 fire hero on the team. So in this chapter, we're fine. But along the way, you're going to, if you want to max out all of them, you would have to switch your Tieria over to some kind of green character. And what I initially did, again, in the past guides, was switch Destina in for this. And then it makes it to where you don't have to worry. Right? You just click go, and you come back 5 minutes later, the stage is cleared, and you don't have to worry about ever touching it again. So that is an option if you want to go do that. Otherwise, I'm going to go through with this. Not the most efficient thing, but again, It's okay. So meet me back here once you have finished through all of chapter 1. You should have no problems with this team, and I will see you at the next part of the Orbis Guide. Okay, so once you have reached the mission that finishes up this part of the Orbis Guide, we're going to go get some rewards from this, some extra bookmarks, as well as a bunch of extra charms, which is super nice, and some account EXP. So those of you guys that are worried about leveling up your account, you will be in a pretty good spot. Let me turn chat off. Okay, there we go. So there is all that. Now we're going to end up getting some pre-upgraded gear. This gear isn't anything insane, but it's really nice because we'll be able to build an additional character, and we don't have any charms to upgrade. So that's already upgraded. That's fantastic. So now going into here, we have to clear Hunt on hard difficulty 10 times or higher. We have to clear an expedition 1 time, craft equipment 10 times, enhance equipment 5 times, and then complete arena 5 times. Okay, all these missions are very simple. Okay, so Hunt on hard difficulty. This is where we're going to go ahead and get into Golem. Okay, so with Golem, we need to clear on normal difficulty or higher 5 times. We have to reach level 50 with Cermia, which means the first thing we need to do is go clear this. All right, we need to go beat Hunt on normal, or Golem on normal difficulty. The team that we currently have with Brieg will be fine for it, but we are working on Raz on the side. So this is one thing that you are going to have to go and continue to work on Raz. With doing Raz again, we are going to be needing to farm a ton of greater spirit runes in Spirit Altar, and then we have to eliminate 500 unknowns. With the 500 unknowns, what I do is just click go into the stage. This is going to also be farming catalyst points for us, which also is boosting us toward getting Lorena at the same time. And you just go in, set your 15 run, let this go for a little bit. Have this in the background. This is going to give you stigma as well to get you some gold to buy out your Moonlight Theater, and everything there is, it's all good stuff. So while this is going, you can always go in and do some extra work on the side. So I'm going to go in and finally get through some arena. I'm playing 2 accounts, so this arena team is, or my arena on this account is very low, so I'm going to try to push up. I'm going to spend some gems to push up my arena rank and do some of the other missions along the way. But before I do anything important, I will come back and show you. But otherwise, go ahead, start working toward Raz, start farming some runes, do some quick battles on runes if you have them, and just try to get that as close to done as possible. But I'll meet you back here in just a minute once I have finished with some of the progress. Okay, now that I'm back, you guys, if you went and grinded this, you'll see why I don't suggest specially change units very often. Okay, the grind is brutal, and that's just the start of the grind. The second part of the grind is going to be once we complete the specially change. So again, go through, do all of this, and then preferably on a buff event day. If you need to skip ahead and do other parts of the guide, feel free. You can kind of go around and see what you need to do. The more you skip around, it's going to be a little hard to figure out what all I've done, and I'm going to have little tidbits that you may miss as we go through things, but just know you have a skill tree. Okay, with the skill tree, you are going to have to utilize this and put your runes into the tree to upgrade it, and it takes a lot of runes. So what we want to do, if you want to follow along, we're only going to take Raz to plus 18. Okay, we're going to do the bare minimum we need to. Eventually, we go through back and finish this if we want. But overall, the ability here, extra chance of that is not worth it. So I'm going to do the bottom one, the top one on the left row, and then this one here is really nice. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. That allows him to give immunity to the backline target. So these 3. Next up, we're going to go over here, and this has a chance for boosting combat readiness, and this has a chance of putting a shield on, well, it gives a bigger shield to whoever's in the back line of your party. This one is very, very good. So we're going to do this. And the last one is this. Okay, these are the core 5 you need to do. From there, you can go through and do any of the other ones. The effectiveness can be nice. So I'm going to go ahead and just do this since I have the runes. But as you see, I just went through 250 whatever runes in like 10 seconds, and they get more expensive the higher tier or the more ones you do. So specialty changes are tough, and I try to avoid them at all costs. Even on my main account, it has to be a super good unit. In terms of other good units, Amiki is the #1 specialty change right now for PvP. Airwell is okay, but fallen off quite a bit because of the other Moonlight 5s. But if you don't have some of those other characters, she can still be good. Carmen Rose has 1-2 use cases. If you wanted to do her, Carrot is somewhat okay, but otherwise, most of these I would not suggest putting the resources into doing. If you want to go start another one just so that you can passively complete some of the missions, feel free to. I know some of you guys are going to be completionists, but that is going to be, there are packs you can buy, by the way, that makes this much faster, but that I am free to play on this account. I am not buying any packs or anything. I'm utilizing everything you guys are going to get. So now I'm going to go into my hero inventory. Time to build up our Golem team. Okay, so our Tamarind is looking like this. That is fine. We are taking the gear off of our Wyvern team. So our Brieg is going to lose his gear. I am going to boost his boots up to plus 15 first, though. Okay, but we are going to be going and putting this gear on Raz. But let's go ahead and get our Raz leveled up, which means hopefully you guys have the penguins. If not, you're going to have to go trade Stigma in for your penguins, just like this. And if you're out of Stigma, you're going to have to go farm some Stigma. But ideally, you guys likely farmed a lot before after the last episode, because this episode took multiple days to get out. But if you are following along later down the road and say you're in June or whatever, you might have to take a step back and do quite a bit of farming to get to where we are. And that's just part of this. But it's going to go very quickly from here. We are going to complete a ton of stuff. So one of the things with Raz is I'm going to utilize these rune chests. I wish we could use these rune chests to finish his mission, but the runes that you do for his specialty change have to drop from Spirit Altar to complete the challenge. So here, you need to have catalyst boxes to trade in. I'm going to go ahead and trade these in. If you do not have the boxes, you need to go trade in the AP exchange. So that's just another button you will click. But we should have the ones from Brieg from doing the Wyvern missions, and we used a potion on him. So as you see, it gave us 10. We still have those 10. That's part of why we used the potion on Brieg, just to have this left over. And then from here, we're going to go ahead and we have our Raz nice and geared, and we will go into, we don't need to do any skill ups. If you have the artifact Aureus, it is going to be best in slot. Next up, Steadfast Gatekeeper is really nice. Otherwise, just try to potentially put whatever you have your breed currently on. I'm going to go ahead and use Aureus because it is the best one for the Golem, or the Golem mission. But Steadfast Gatekeeper is also really nice. Okay, so I'll just put that up to plus 12. That is strong enough. And now we're going to steal all of Brieg's gear. I know this part's annoying, going and moving all the gear around and taking away from other characters, but doing so allows us to save our charms and not upgrade a bunch of different pieces up to halfway. Our goal is to get as big of a stockpile of charms as we can while completing everything in the game at the least amount of resources possible. So here I'm going to go ahead and boost up the sword just to plus 9. This should be fine if it goes HP or effectiveness, either one. Effect res, not ideal, but that was a good roll. So this is my overall Raz stats. Okay, yours should look pretty much identical. Again, these two pieces are from the arena shop. Next up, we have our Tamarind. Our Tamarind gear is mostly leveled up. Ideally, we could upgrade the necklace or the ring, but we are out of charms. So I'm going to go ahead and leave them at plus 12, or I can go buy charms from the arena shop. Either one, but we will get some more charms here in the near future once we get Cermia. But that is going to be the first two characters. Next up, our Free Spirit Tieria gear, we are going to end up putting on Victorica. And then our Cigarette gear is currently on our Specteni, and we're going to move this gear over to Cermia. But for right now, I'm going to go ahead and beat these next batch of missions. So going in, let's go see. We need to enhance equipment 5 times and do arena 5 times. I've done both those now. You watch those. We have to clear an expedition 1 time, clear hunt, and craft equipment 10 times. So with crafting the equipment 10 times, we're just going to go into Wyvern, select boots. You have plenty of materials. Set this to a 10 craft, and then anything that you're curious on, just hold on to it. Okay, your inventory, if it gets full, you can use charms. But the reason I do boots is because it's easier to get rid of them compared to other gear. Because if it's a purple or blue without speed main stat with Wyvern, you're just going to go scrap it. Okay, you use so few non-speed main stat boots. So as you see here, this says HP main stat, this is defense. But you use so few HP main stat or defense main stat boots that you are safe to sell any of those or extract them. We want to extract them for the extraction materials. So we're going to go ahead and do that. Now we'll look at the reds. Any flat stat that isn't speed, you're going to immediately get rid of as well. And this piece right here, it has 6 crit damage, 5 crit chance, and a defense main stat. Overall, this could potentially be a good boot for a 0 speed character that is defense scaling, potentially Abyssal Fiend. So I'm going to hold on to it. Who knows if I ever get that character, but if your inventory starts getting cluttered, you can come in here and then click the button right here and allow you to increase your inventory storage. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and boost mine to 150. This just gives us some breathing room. Eventually, we will go in and clean up everything, but for right now, trying to, again, spend the least amount of resources, but still make the game not feel too bad to play. Okay, so we have all of that done. If we go back into this, the next mission was to claim that. These are boxes to trade in for gear. We'll worry about those later. We need to clear an expedition 1 time. So from doing all your Wyvern hunts, you should have an expedition, or 5, most likely. So as you see here, we have 5 down at the bottom. Any one you take is fine. It doesn't really matter. You just have to do X amount of damage to it. So I'm just going to take one of these light ones and go in. And our expedition teams, we will be making proper expedition teams. It is very easy with the characters I'm having you build. So since my Brig is on the other gear, ideally I would like Brig instead. Brig is very good for all expeditions except for grass, and Raz will be our grass expedition lead, but there is no grass in rotation at the time of recording this. Now our 2 damage characters are going to be our Spectre Tenebria, or whatever we have gear on. So this is our team of 4. I'm just going to go in with this. We want to do as much damage, and then we want to open it up to everybody. Now, again, we will make full teams. The idea is once we get through chapter 3, we get a free character named Camilla. Okay, some of you may have her already, some of you will not. This is the character. I got lucky and pulled her, but we all get her from recruitment going through chapter 3, and I will show you once we get her, and we'll all build it at the same time so you guys can get your expedition teams and just have them done. You don't have to worry about it. One of the characters we are using for that is Cermia. So those of you guys that are like, I don't really want to build Cermia or don't hear bad things about her, she is very nice for setting up a lot of your PV. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to beat this and then come back and show you what to do from that point. Okay, so once you have done your entry, what you do with expeditions is just set them to open recruitment. Some people invite all and like invite their friends and everything, but I highly suggest just setting open recruitment to these at all times. It makes the player experience better for new players who aren't in a good guild. So setting it to open recruitment makes it to where anyone in the game can now go and search for any of the level 1s that are good to go and complete. Okay, this is easy to do. You are going to each month go in and try to finish your expedition depot. Okay, with your expedition depot, you do get some good rewards from it. There is a premium supply pass. I do not suggest anyone buy this. Okay, it's 1,500 sky stones. That's way too much, especially if you're free to play. The rewards are decent. It is worth it for the rewards, but if you're someone who's not spending a lot of money on the game, it will drain your monthly sky stones. Okay, and these items locked here in the premium, I do not suggest buying it. Okay, the general rewards are very solid for doing this. You get some Mologora is the biggest thing. It's part of the big Mologora just ecosystem, and not doing those, you fall behind on them. So you want to go in and make sure you do these. In order to do that, you get points for each one you complete, and you just go into open recruitment, slam whichever one is open. We will again get to our level 3 teams. That will be very easy to build as we just build all of our hunt teams. Basically all those characters translate over. You're going to be using Tam and Brig in almost every single one, and very simple to set up, but we will worry about that once we get to a point where it matters. But for right now, that is the last thing. So you're going to wait for that to complete, and while you're waiting for that to complete, the last mission that we had here was to clear hunt hard difficulty or higher 10 times. So with clearing hunt higher difficulty, we're going to now go out and just do the basic stage of Golem. So with Golem, we're going to do this first, and then we're going to go into hard difficulty to complete that mission. So the reason we're going to beat this, though, is to unlock our Cermia. While we're waiting to get Cermia, we can just go ahead, use this team here, and it will be fine to clear it. So I'm going to go ahead and set my Archie, go ahead and set my pet. I need to beat it one time, then I'm going to set it to auto battle. Okay, once it's done with that, you'll finish this up pretty quickly. Your mission should be done. If you have to, you can go back in and attack your expedition again just to get it done to complete that mission. You can attack it up to 3 times. It's not worth it, though, to attack any expedition multiple times. You just need to be patient and hope that someone comes in and clears it. Right now, the game's super active, so it should not be a problem, but just know if you have to finish it, just go fight it again and you can complete it yourself. And if you don't do enough damage somehow to get to the point where you can open it up, I suggest manualing and soul burning your Raz, or you could switch your Brig in there. Switching Brig in there instead of Raz with the same gear on, you won't have any issue. So I'm going to go ahead and I will meet you back here once you have beaten this stage 10 times. Okay, so once you're doing this, I actually found out it's only 5 times you have to clear normal difficulty on to get your Cermia. So now go in here, claim your Cermia, and we're going to build her up. Okay, the next missions are reach level 50 with her, awaken her to 3-star, and activate destruction set, as well as promote her to 6-star. So we're going to go in and crank out all of those real quick. So go in, go to your Cermia. There we go. And then now we want to, I always, again, lock my characters. Next up, go to level up. We're going to have to buy some penguins in order to do this. So again, you're going to need more stigma. So hopefully, again, you farmed quite a bit. If not, go just farm. It's very quick to get your account to a point where you don't have to worry about resources really at all. Well, maybe not at first, but you will get to a point where if anytime you need anything, you just go get it done real quick. So with this, we can either click combine spirit balloons. We do have enough, so I'm going to save my potion here. for another character. If you don't have enough spirit blooms, just use your potion. Either way, it's the same thing. Not a big deal. Now we need to go ahead and level her up to level 60. So we're at the same spot we were with our Tamarind at level 58. So go ahead and buy one more batch. And now we're going to auto select and level it up. And now from here, we can go out and awaken her. So with the awaken, we have a potion. We're going to use the potion. Again, 5-star characters, best value for that potion. And doing that is going to get her all the way boosted up to where now we have every mission done except for the last one. Well, first up, let's go ahead and put the artifact on. So that's going to be Daydream Joker. With Daydream Joker, if you want to level this up to 18, you can. I'm going to go ahead and put these 3 into it just to get it maxed out. And we want to have at least 3 max Daydream Jokers on our account in terms of the limit break. But the thing is, getting your artifacts leveled up past level 21 takes a ton of artifact charms. Artifact charms are hard to get, so we're not going to be leveling them up too far. Now, the next thing I want us to do is click this right here, and we want to get this exclusive equipment, okay? With this, you have a 25% chance to grant extra attack. I'm going to go ahead and equip it. If you get a different one, it's okay. In order to get these, you need to go to your Hall of Trials. I didn't realize I already grabbed that. I guess I did it. I had to have done it earlier in the guide, but go into your go into your battle, okay? And then scroll over to the right, you're going to have Hall of Trials. And Hall of Trials, you come here, you click Exchange, and then you go under Wisdom Gazes to your Warriors, and you scroll till you find Cermia. You have 3 here. 25% chance of using extra attack. When an enemy is defeated with all in, decreases skill cooldowns, and then grants the Chaoster a barrier. The best one here is going to be the skill 1 25%. No matter what extra attack percent you get, it doesn't matter. If you need to buy multiple of them, there is also going to be the ability to craft these. So if you leave here, I hope that it is open, and it's still in the game. It used to be in the game. I'd imagine it is. So it used to be in the Alchemist Steeple. You could come in here and craft. I do not know where that is. Give me a minute. I will try to find it. It's probably in the Steel Workshop. Let me try this one time real quick. Yes, it's in the Steel Workshop. So within the Steel Workshop, you can come in here, click Cermia's one, and then select a skill. So we want this one. And then you will go and put your extra ones that you have in to craft this, okay? They actually changed the system. It's much better because before, very easy to craft the wrong one. But you just put in your extra junk ones that you tried to get for her and craft the right one, which is a 25%. We're going to be using her in almost multiple expedition teams. We're going to be using her for some of our Abyss. We're going to be using her for multiple hunt teams. Cermia is going to be a very important character on our account. Now that we have done all that, you've got your exclusive equipment. Now we need to put that destruction set on her from our Spectre Tenebria. So we need to go to Manage Equipment, go into our destruction set, and slap the Spectre Tenebria gear onto her. From here, go ahead and put the boots on. Next up, we are going to have to put the penetration set for the last 2 pieces. And there we go. There is our Cermia. She will work just fine for what we need to do here. Okay, now that's also going to finish that last mission. We can go back to our Orbis guide and claim all of these rewards to get us to the extra 10 leaves. And this is also giving us a lot of charms and another gear set. This gear set's very good. It's just like the one that we have on our Cermia right now that we got for Cigarette. And we also get these, which are going to let us boost up other characters. So the biggest thing is the charms, though. All right, now that that is done, we're to the second batch of missions. We have to awaken Cermia to 6-star. Already did that. The most important thing is craft Golem equipment 10 times to get these charms. Again, I always go in and do boots. Boots are just the easiest for the first batch, just to keep your inventory clean so that you're not like, is this gear good or not? Now with this, any purple, okay. Any purple gear, you can go ahead and extract if it's not speed main stat or potentially HP main stat. I don't know of any other boots you would want from this. If it's defense set, defense main stat could be okay. And if it's attack set, attack main stat. But otherwise, you're pretty safe to just go ahead and like, this is really high rolled. I might keep this, okay? But any flat stats, definitely get rid of. But you can be pretty picky, just maybe with your red gear, question it. But if it's a red piece of gear with a flat main stat that isn't speed, so if it's flat attack, flat defense, or flat HP, go ahead and get rid of it. So I'm going to extract these pieces of gear. And then if you need to clean up again, just any T70 gear you get from hunts, just go ahead and sell it. But I'll keep those 2 pieces. So now that that is done, that is that mission. And we're going to have even more charms. These charms, we need them to level up our Tamarind's gear. Now we need to clear Golem on hunt difficulty, normal or higher 20 times, and clear Golem hunt 10 times without failing. So those 2 missions are a little annoying. And the thing is, we are not going to stress about completing all of this. Okay, this last one, higher 15. If you want to sit and finish this, you can. I will come back to it later to deal with it. But during the guide, I'm just going to get this last batch of charms and then move on from this. So from here though, the next character that we want to put a little resource into, I like Victorica, but you guys can switch up and use whichever character you want. So whichever character you do end up going with, like say you have Haste or another fire character you want to try out, feel free to utilize them. Raz, Tamarind, plus Cermia will beat this semi-consistently, and then having the extra character just raises the consistency of it. You can get unlucky like any other hunt, and that's just how it goes. But I am going to go in, I'm going to put my Daydream I want to change. I was wondering what was going on there. I want to put her on my other Daydream Joker. Okay, next I want to enhance this, put the 3 in here, and I'm also going to try to boost it to plus 15. Plus 15 is fine. Okay, so now that that is plus 15, we can back out, and we're going to put our Tierra gear on Victorica, or whoever you end up deciding with, you can put whoever's gear on that. Now, I'm going to go ahead and awaken her to 4-star at least. I think she'll be fine at 4-star, and I do want to 6-star her for the hardest difficulty of this. So with this, you can go ahead and trade in your runes if you need some, and just go ahead and build her up. But I'm going to try to avoid using too many catalysts on her because I do not know how useful she is going to be in the long term. That's something, she's a brand new character at the time of making this guide. I haven't got to test her. I don't know of all the places I'd use her. She has an okay skill kit. Her giving immunity is nice, and she has enemy max HP damage, which combines with Daydream Joker to hit very, very hard. So for Golem, she's definitely very usable. And that's just, if you like her, cool. If not, go try a different character. But you can promote her as well. So within your promotion, if you look into our inventory, we have multiple potions. I believe we have 1 left. We are not going to use this potion, but if you want to use this potion, we're going to. We will get more potions as we need to boost up more characters, and we will trade in for Stigma. But any character you want to do here, just go ahead and click promote, or you can try her at 5-star. If you want to do 5-star, I'm just doing the 6-star just to make it easier. Okay, I don't want to have any chance of it failing, and the more resources you put in, less chance it's going to fail, the less stress you're going to get, and just beat it the first time versus trying to do this multiple times. But this is the fun part of the PvE, is the team building composition. So again, if there's a fire unit you got that you want to try out, feel free to try them and let me know in the comments. Say, I tried X character, it didn't work. But the way you're going to build this character, we're not going to put any Molagora into her, but we're going to go in and take our Tierra's gear. So that means after this batch of missions is done, we're going to have to go re-gear everybody, but it'll only take a second. But this is saving us a ton of charms overall. Next up, we're going to go to our crit set and put on these 2 pieces here. So her gear is already maxed out. We don't have to go and do any upgrading, and we can use those charms that we just got from the last batch of missions to level up our Tamarind's gear. Okay, so from here, go ahead and enhance this. Plus 15, 1, and it looks like we have enough for both. That's perfect. And we're going to end up getting more charms out of this, which from this point forward, we will be able to start stockpiling because we can move our gear around to beat the challenges and then eventually set up our permanent teams for each different type of content. So now our Tamarind's looking good. Our Raz is looking pretty solid. We have our Cermia looking pretty good. Our crit chance a little bit lower than I'd like, but you guys' gear will look completely different, and our Victorica is perfect. So as long as you have above 85 crit rate, you're good to go. So our Victorica is very squishy, even being level 60, being level 50, it's even squishier. So I'm not sure how she would work at level 50, but again, if you want to try it, you can. But our next batch of missions, if we go into the Orbis guide, are going to be, again, we have to clear our hunt on hard difficulty or higher 10 times, which is what we're about to do, and then we have to clear expedition 1 time. So you can go here, see if your expedition is finished. Again, if it's not done, then you can go ahead and hit it again if you want to speed up this next portion. I'm going to go ahead and receive this. That's going to finish that mission, skip the tutorial, and we can go grab that. And lastly, now we're going to go in and beat up Golem. And as you see here, we need to beat it on normal difficulty or higher 20 times, and then we need to difficulty higher on repeat battle, the same mission. It's too much to read. Okay, but we need to set our auto battle to 15 once we beat it the first time and just let it go. Okay, so from there, we still need to complete the other mission on hard, but this is just a good break point to go and work on something else versus just grinding story the entire time. So let's go ahead in here and set our proper team. So we need to set Cermia in. One thing, you can increase Cermia's skills. We are going to be using her in multiple content, so if you want to bare minimum put the low end Molagora into her, it's not bad. I do suggest doing her skill 2. This one's nice to have to cycle her turns faster. So I am going to go ahead and Mola this. And then lastly, this is all just damage, and this is all just damage. So if you want to, again, you can go ahead and put the cheap Mologores into her, you'll get a little bit more out of her. I'll just go ahead and put her at +5 total. That's just, what is that, 8 Mologore investment for a character we're using in probably 6 different pieces of content consistently. That is worth it in my eyes. So now we're going to go in, unless my game crashed, there we go. And I'm going to beat this once, and then I'm going to come back and do this on the auto battle 15 to complete those 2 missions. So once you're done with that, come back, let me know. Again, if you try out a different character besides Victorica, let me know how it went. Good luck. Some of the characters I know you guys are going to try are not going to be good. The idea here, though, is you want a fire character or potentially a Moonlight 5, but most Moonlight 5s would not be great for Golem. There's a couple that are okay, but ideally, you're going to use a fire character. Do not try a water character. It will not go well for you, but that's why we switched Brieg out for Raz. Now, again, I will see you all in a few minutes when this is done. Okay, so once you are finished with that batch of missions, you are able to go out, claim all the stuff that we just got, and we are actually finished with the next Orbis Guide mission as well. So we had to clear Hunt on hard difficulty or higher 10 times. This is going to give us some extra crafting materials. Just hold on to those for now. You don't have the charms to upgrade stuff anyway, and then you're going to get your next pieces of gear, and they're fully upgraded, which is super nice. We actually have a couple summons. We can go ahead and rip those real quick. The goal of today is to get through the Golem missions and then get in and get close to one of the chapter 3 bosses. So I'm going to go ahead and rip my 10 summons here. We got no 5 stars, and I'm actually going to go ahead and save my mystic medals, I think, from here. The other account I did get Harsetti on. That will be an account I will be doing a free-to-play series on past this guide. So those of you guys that are wanting to learn more about the game, I'll continue to upload, and you can like learn as we go. But overall, the guide is to get you to a certain point, get you then comfortable to where you can go off and make your own decisions, and everyone's account will be way different. But that is all done, so we can go ahead in and claim our missions for beating the Golem. So we had to beat it 20 times or higher, and then we also had to beat it 10 times in a row or whatever on the hard difficulty. So if you had any trouble with that, it's just RNG. If you fail it, it's just you miss a debuff or something. Otherwise, my team worked out really good. I was actually very impressed with Victorica. She performs good. I mean, she has the counter attack, which allows her to counter and then potentially get a defense break on that counter hit on her skill 1. Overall, very good. She's good for Golem. So the only thing I really care about right here, you guys can do whichever you want, but I need to beat Golem on the hell difficulty or higher 20 times. So if you want to go to the hell difficulty, you can. The team should work, or you can just do hard. Okay, you can do either hell or hard. All we care about is getting these 2 charms. If you'd like to go the extra step and get this, you can. Otherwise, I'm not bothering with this. If you want to do this before we move on to the next part, that's completely up to you. But my ultimate goal is to just go in and get these 2 batches of charms for our gear later. I don't care about these rewards up here, and they will be here as long as we want them to stay. So the next missions are going to be within the Orbis Guide, but I would like to go move our gear back to our original teams before pushing to that. So I'm going to go ahead, do the Golem mission of beating it on 20 times, and then from there, we're going to go out and start working on these missions again. So go ahead, go back to Golem, do that, and I will meet you back here once you at least have that top mission done for those charms. Okay, so once you have farmed those last couple of missions for your Golem challenges, we are going to be moving back into the Path of Air. So again, the team worked perfect. You saw the gear I had on. I haven't changed anything. I will go show them for a second while we're switching gear around, but I could finish this up. But if you guys want to, that team worked great. Victorica, actually fantastic. I didn't fail a single stage of Golem through all of that. Hopefully you guys are having the same level of success. That was actually, I'm impressed with Victorica as a at least Golem character. So now what we need to do is go back and move our gear onto our core story clearing team. And then after this, though, after we push a little bit further in story, we'll be gearing up every kind of team we could possibly need. But this was the Victorica. Worked pretty good. I mean, she was slow. The faster you go with her, the better, too, because she puts up immunity. Overall, very impressed. But let's go ahead and put our gear back on our proper characters. So our 2 sets for this are going to be these 2. So let's go ahead and take Victorica gear back onto our Tierra. And then next we are going to take the Cermia gear and put it back on our Spectre Cermia. So once we do those 2 things, we will be good to start clearing through story again. So Spectre Cermia, we're going to also take the Daydream Joker back and then put the Destruction for this one and then Penetration. So we're going to go ahead and click Cermia's gear, put it back on our Spectene, and then next up we need to move Raz's gear back to Brieg. So There we go. Put all this back on, change it, and we're good to go. Okay, so now lastly, we will end up switching Brieg's gear back to Raz for a couple of fights during this, but it will only be switching one character. We don't have to worry about doing anything else along the way. So here we go, back to the HP set, take all of Raz's gear, and back on Brieg it goes. So we could probably end up switching gear anyway once we get to that point to take our Angelica gear and just put over on Raz, and Raz will work fine with that. We'll decide once we get there. But once all your gear is back on your characters, we're going to go to our Orbis guide and we need to start knocking out these missions. So the first one is going to be Reforge. With the Reforge, what I do for this portion is go into my mailbox, and I go down to the Reforge box. As you see here, we'll have Reforge selection boxes. I have extra, I think, because I opened some chests that are event limited. You should have one here. So with that one, go ahead in and grab Katie's materials. With the Katie's materials, you can then go to your Spectre Tenebria, and you can reforge either the necklace or the ring. I would say whichever one has the higher equipment score, go with that for right now. It's going to be easy. It's for you to decide. So that'll do the ring instead of the neck for this. Now from there, I'm going to go back, claim that. And we need to clear episode, we need to clear Catalyst Stage 5 time and exchange Catalyst in the Catalyst Exchange. So for the Catalyst in the Catalyst Exchange, just click go next to it and take whichever one you need from this. So I'm just going to go ahead and take a one of these for Mui, because I would like to get my Mui back up for Wyvern and get his levels up. And then I also need to clear a Catalyst Stage 5 times. Again, if you guys need to farm, this is the Catalyst Stage I'd suggest doing, just because it's going to be fast. Just Rampage 1-6 very early on and just go to that. I'm going to go back to my farming team and let this run a couple times and then meet you back here. Once you do this, go back into the story with your Brieg, Tamarind, Free Spiritaria, and your Spectre Tenebria / Arbiter Village, or whatever you started with, and then push through the story until you get to the point where that next mission is done. So I'll meet you back here when that is finished. Okay, so once you have finished that batch of missions, or, well, finish that stage to finish this batch of missions, go and claim all your stuff here. You're going to get some more charms, as well as a bunch more charms there again, and you got another Moonlight summon, so we can go do a few Moonlights, and then from here, see if you rank up. It's going to take me back to main screen, unfortunately, so let's go back here, go back in. The next batch of missions is pretty easy overall. We need to do Draft Arena one time. Draft Arena, my green screen light's going out. Let me fix that before the next recording. But we need to do a 4 to 5 star element summon, complete arena 5 times, and then do Draft Arena once. So Draft Arena, it's just a fun game mode. The characters already come pre-built. You just go in, do a fight, pick whatever random characters you want, and this is a way you can learn how to play the PvP in the game with pre-built characters. So if you go to the hero log, you can actually click them and see the overall stats on the characters. This is actually a really good resource to use to go in to see which stats are important on different characters that you could potentially want to build. Now, these builds are very high quality. You are not going to be able to achieve them. Some of them I think are impossible to achieve, but this at least gives you somewhat of a base stat line, and some characters have multiple builds, and you can see the set here. So right there, that's injury set plus crit set. This is destruction plus immunity. This Janua is on speed torrent. This Janua is on destruction torrent. So it kind of gives you just a baseline that you can utilize to figure out how to build characters. Not the greatest resource, but it is the best resource, or one of the best resources in game to figure out how to build those really high quality PvP builds. So you just go in here, click find an opponent, just go into the fight. I think you can back out right away if you actually don't want to do it, and it'll count. You can try it, but just go in, pick some random characters, see what you know about the game, and get cooked. And but if you do want to try to get better at this, you just go in and play some games, and it'll help you kind of decide on which characters would be good for you to potentially work on or not. So I want you to do that batch of missions. One thing is coming up, I'm going to notate this now and try to bring it up later, is there is a mission that's use a 4 to 5 star summon ticket of water, and it doesn't unlock until after you get it. So kind of hold your summons going forward a little bit if you can, just to make sure you don't get stuck on that mission. So there we go. There's a 5-star character. It looks like it's Cecilia. No, it is Lilius. Much better. This is a perfectly fine character, usable, decent PvP, decent potentially in PvE. So that is that mission. I'm going to go do the other 2 missions, do my draft mode arena fight, and then I'll meet you back here once you are done with the arena and the draft arena. Okay, so you guys that are scared to go play the arena, you can go in and just leave and you don't have to worry about it. But this is an unranked game mode. It doesn't matter at all whether you win or lose. It's just about trying out characters, learning the game. So don't feel stressed about that whatsoever. But you can go in and leave again. So now let's go ahead and claim this. We get 20 right side charms here, which is absolutely massive, plus 2 more pieces of fully upgraded gear. Next up, we have to own 5 heroes awaken to 6-star. We should have that finished already. If not, I need to go boost up my Spectre Tenebria soon. So the rest of this is enhance equipment 5 times, enhance artifact 3 times, clear 60 of Abyss, and then clear episode 3, chapter 3. So this is all super fast, simple things to go do. Go finish them all, and then go through the story to finish this. Okay, so for the enhanced equipment, the thing is a lot of our characters are starting to get to a point where our at least core roster, their gear is good. So from here, you can go in and start working on secondary roster, one gear set that you can start putting on other characters as you're going through right now in chapter 3. You are getting this HP set. This HP set's actually pretty good overall, so you can go find whatever pieces you have of that. Put any of this HP gear on, say, Raz. Here's some speed boots. You also have these speed boots. Not the best to upgrade, but it gives you usable characters, so I'm going to go ahead and put him on just these pieces for now, and then for the ring, I'll just put him on the Angelica ring because we will be taking Angelica off. Actually, since the necklace is upgraded, let's just put him on this. So if you don't have a speed main stat boot, though, it's fine. If you want to utilize this, you can, but hold off on upgrading this too much. Now, next we can go through, make sure all your gear is plus 15 except for the sword, unlike your tanks. That's not too important overall, but your damage there, check your spec 10, that everything's geared. And then from here, if you want to, you can upgrade your Mui gear a little bit. So the boots, go ahead, take to plus 15. If you'd like, this should just finish the mission right here. So that's done. And now I'm going to go in, do the other missions, and then meet you back here once I have finished that part of the story. You should have no problems with an Abyss or the story at this point. With that current core team, you are pretty solid. The thing is, pretty soon, Tyria will start dying in some of the missions. But overall, we do have the replacement. You can go take your Destina and switch her out and just have the fights go slower. If you run into a problem, that's what you'll start doing. Say you go ahead of me on the guide waiting for the next part. But overall, you shouldn't have too hard of a time whatsoever. Biggest thing is just make sure Brieg is on some kind of damage mitigation artifact. Aureus would be the most ideal. Make sure Tamarind is on some kind of artifact. And the most important thing is make sure Spectre Tenebria is on Daydream Joker for this. Or Arbiter Villager would work for it too. Whichever you start with. Okay, so I'm going to go do this and I'll meet you back here once I am done. Okay, so we made it to a pretty good stopping point. Those of you guys that have made it to the end of this chapter, what I want you to do is finish this. And then the next batch of missions I'm going to start up on, I'm starting right now. So I'm going to try to get episode 5 of the guide out probably like 12 hours after this one. So I don't want to have any more delays between each episode. I have a really good game plan now from playing the 2 accounts, and it's time to crank all this out. So those of you guys that clear up to path 30, you can try to go ahead even further. I will walk through each step by step going into the next episodes if you would like to wait for me. And if you are wanting to wait to do it along with what I'm doing, you can always go back, farm the 2 places. One is Eulogy for a Saint. The other one, again, I think 1-6 here, and then go to the stage Rampage. I think those stages would be fantastic. We are going to be rebuilding the Wyvern team at the very beginning of next episode, but you still have your core farming team to get Stigma. Well, a couple of things you can do is get that Stigma from farming stages, stock up on your charms, and then take that Stigma, convert it to penguins, and sell your penguins to buy your Moonlight Theater. Okay, so that's the first part of tomorrow. I want you guys to go through, get enough gold to buy out the Moonlight Theater to where you can get the next portion. And if you are not to that part, and also you do have the option to just hold off on doing this, but I want to start those missions to start getting those next set of missions done, because as soon as you start the second Moonlight Blessing, at least the progress you're making goes toward that. So what you need to do again for that is go into your Moonlight Theater. I've already done it on this account, but you need to go through. You can click this icon up at the top, spend 500,000 per ticket. Okay, when spending 500,000 per ticket, you're going to watch through all of this. You're going to get a Mystic Medal for each stage, and then once this is done and you complete Moonlight Blessing 1, it starts Moonlight Blessing 2. And my pick is Death of the Ray, but I'll go over that again at the start of tomorrow's video, or the next part of the guide. So thank you guys for watching. If you have any questions, let me know. Otherwise, if you need a farm hunt, move your gear back to your core team, and definitely always prioritize Wyvern over Golem. The reason we didn't do too much with Golem or put a lot of resources in, because it's not something we're going to be farming very much. But let me go start working on the next episode, and I will see you all in part 5 of the guide. Peace out.